Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Obviously, today we are doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I got my questions through Sarah Caroli, who is my favorite comfort YouTuber. Let's jump right in. The very first question is the best question, and that is, what is the best book that you've read in 2025 so far? And for that, I have to say Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. The way I flew through this book so fast. If you didn't know, this is a historical fiction, and it follows a man who runs away from vet school after his parents pass away, and he hops on a train only to realize that it is a circus train, and he eventually becomes the vet for the circus. I'm just absolutely obsessed with this book. It's very fast paced. If you're not like normally into historical fiction, or if you're trying to get into historical fiction, I feel like this is such a good gateway because it is very fast paced. I swear there's something happening on every single page of this book. I'm obsessed with these characters, but if you are going to pick it up, I definitely suggest checking the trigger warnings if that's something that you like to do. And I love this movie too. This has been one of my favorite movies since I was a teenager, so absolutely love it. The best sequel you've read so far this year, and that has got to go, obviously, to Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. This is the sequel to Beartown. If you follow me here and on TikTok, you know that Frederick Bachman is, I think, my favorite author of all time, and I've only read 3 books by him, technically 2 books and 1 short story. To me, his writing style is unmatched. The way that he can portray the human condition and the human experience is stunning. His writing isn't like flowery and prosy. It's just like basic writing, but he writes it in such a way that it just hits you in the heart. In the Beartown trilogy, we're following a town in Sweden that basically runs on their hockey team. And hockey just means so much to these people. So much so that they forget about their morals. A new release you haven't read yet but want to. There are so many new releases that I want to get to, but I narrowed it down to 3, and those 3 are obviously My Friends by Frederick Bachman, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, and The Sirens by Amelia Hart. My Friends, obviously self-explanatory if you watched the last clip. I can't wait to get to all of Frederick Bachman's books. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I haven't read any V.E. Schwab yet, but I actually just posted a TikTok about how I really want to get into her, and I just need to figure out where I'm going to start, and I feel like this book might be my starting point. And The Sirens by Amelia Hart. I just love the concept of sirens in general. Any like fantasy that has to do with like the ocean, like I'm very intrigued. And Wayward by Amelia Hart was one of my favorite books of 2024, so I'm very excited to dive into this one. I have heard mixed things, but I'm still very excited. My most anticipated release for the second half of the year. This one I had a hard time with. I had a hard time finding what books were going to be coming out. Like I looked everywhere and I couldn't seem to find a lot of information about books coming out in the second half of this year. But if you watched my most recent wrap up, you know that I was just approved for a bunch of arcs on NetGalley, which I'm very excited for. And on NetGalley, I saw that Rebecca Ross is coming out with a new book called Wild Reverence. And I think this is supposed to be a prequel to the Divine Rivals duology. And that is very intriguing to me. I'm wondering if this is going to be about Daiquiri and what's the goddess's name? I don't know. I'm wondering if this is going to be like the backstory of the gods in Divine Rivals. So very excited for this one. My biggest surprise of the year is A Woman Is No Man by Etaf Rum. I knew that this would be good, but I wasn't sure that it was going to be for me. And I was wrong. I was so wrong. This is for everyone. And I honestly feel like this is one of those books that I just wish that I could make everyone in the world read. This follows a few different generations of women in the same family. They're Palestinian American. In the beginning, we're following a woman who is married off to this Palestinian American man. And so she immigrates with him back to America. So we're we're following her story. We're also following her husband's mother, and then we're also following her daughter's story. It was so interesting to get a look into these women's culture, and I just feel like it was just such a beautiful story about generational trauma and also how disastrous indoctrination can be. Absolutely love this book so much. Next is favorite author, debut, or new to you, and I picked one for every single one. So favorite author, Frederick Bachman. A debut author that I definitely will pick up more of is Megan Lally. She wrote That's Not My Name, which I just picked up on a whim because I wanted to listen to an audiobook, and I was like, oh, like this one probably is like fast-paced and good. Yes, it was that. It was fast-paced and good. And then new to me is Toni Morrison. I've only read one book by her, and that was Sula, but I really would like to pick up her other books. I know that she has some books that are more popular than that, and I'm very curious to just dive into more of her work. My newest fictional crush, you guys, don't hate me. I'm only on Queen of Shadows right now, and he just messed up again in Queen of Shadows. But guys, Cale Westfall, okay? I know a lot of people don't like him. I know he has messed up a lot. Don't give me any spoilers for the last 3 books. I'm just finishing up Queen of Shadows now. I know he's messed up, but he feels so real to me. Like, he feels like a real person that messes up, and I genuinely feel so bad for him, and I feel like he deserved better, and it actually makes me like annoyed at Selena. I still love her, but I don't know. I just feel like he deserved better. But also, he messed up so much. He like comes off as like so hard and brutal, but then he's like soft with her, aka my dream man. I don't know. Anyway, we'll go into that in the Throne of Glass vlog. But yeah, you can hate me, but I just love him, okay? I just love him. A book that made you cry. I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory, you know what I mean? Haymitch is one of my absolute favorite characters in the Hunger Games. I was so excited for this book, and I sobbed. You know, if you didn't know, this is one of the 2 prequels for the Hunger Games trilogy, and this is Haymitch's story. A book that made you happy, and that is The Answer Is No by Frederick Bachman. And I know this is kind of cheating because it's a short story. It's literally like 67 pages long, and you can only read it like in ebook format. So I don't know if it really counts as a whole book, but I genuinely loved this short story so much. It was just exactly the kind of story that I absolutely love. It was unique and like weird, but had such an amazing deep message at the end of it all. The most beautiful book you've bought this year. I thrifted A River Enchanted and A Fire Endless, and I just think they're so beautiful. The covers are just so pretty. I love them. One of my mutuals, her name is Nellie. She just read these and she said they were so good. I haven't picked these up yet, but now that she read them and loved them, I'm even more excited to pick them up. What books do you need to read by the end of this year? Once again, there are so many books that I would love to get to by the end of the year, but I narrowed it down to 5. First off is The Winners by Frederick Bachman. That is the final book in the Beartown trilogy, and I've just been putting it off because I know I have to be in the right mood, and I just know that it's gonna hurt me a lot. So just waiting for the right time. Another book that I have been talking about reading for months now is The Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wong. When I tell you I haven't heard a single bad thing about this book, not even just a single bad thing, but literally raving reviews across the board, I cannot wait to get to this one. I'm pretty sure it's like a thick boy too, though. Next, I cannot wait. I have been waiting all year to read this, and that is Manacled. Technically, this isn't like a published book, but it is a Harry Potter fanfic that everyone is absolutely obsessed with and salivating over. I actually reread the Harry Potter series just in order to get to this. I mean, I shouldn't say just, because that series has my whole heart, but I reread the series with the intention of getting to Manifold at the end. I didn't pick a specific book, but I want to get into V.E. Schwab, so at least one V.E. Schwab book by the end of the year. And lastly, another one that's been on my radar for a very long time is The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. Another book that I've heard that is very unique in its writing style. I've heard that it's written in like different perspectives, first person, second person, third person. I want to say someone said that you're getting the perspective of like somebody that's watching from the outside, then you're also getting the perspectives of the characters. I'm very, very intrigued about that one. How many 5-star reads this year? And it is 6. But I will say that 1 or 2 times I have like immediately rated something 5 stars, and then upon thinking I've gone back and changed it, and vice versa, where like I rated something like a 4.5 or a 4.75, and then I just can't stop thinking about it. So I just went back and rated it 5 stars. So we have A Woman Is No Man by E. Taff Rum, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Just for the Summer, The Answer Is No, Water for Elephants, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. What books do I want to reread this year? There are a lot of books that I want to reread in general, but the one that I really want to pick up this year is The Book Eaters by Sun Yi Dean. This was, again, one of my absolute favorite books of 2024, and I just cannot wait to get a reread in. I think I might try to do it in the fall time because it's a very like fall atmospheric kind of book. A book you enjoyed with mixed reviews. Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I will say though, as a disclaimer, I do understand the mixed feelings on this. I think out of all of these books, this is my least favorite one, but I still did enjoy it a lot. I think it was just slower and there was a lot of new world building happening, but I still really enjoyed it. I just love this universe. I'm so sad that we don't have any idea when the next one is coming out because that cliffhanger. And last but not least is 5-star predictions for the rest of the year. Again, I picked 5 because I couldn't pick one. So I picked Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I love unique books, and I've heard this is very unique and fun. Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. I've been highly anticipating diving into Octavia E. Butler's work, and I feel like this is the perfect place to start. I've heard that this book is like very eerily similar to the political climate that we're currently living in. And this was written in like the 80s or something. So can't wait to get to that. Next is Slewfoot by Brahm. I said this on TikTok. I have no idea what this is about. I only know that there's a witch involved and probably a village or a town. I don't know if this is a horror book. I don't know, but look at the cover. Like, look at the cover. It's so intriguing. Anything that's like historical with witches, I don't know. There's something about it. Something about it. All's Well by Mona Awad. I've heard mixed reviews on this one, but I absolutely loved Bunny by Mona Awad, so I kind of have a feeling I will love her other work too. And I think this one is about motherhood, which even better. And lastly, Evil Eye by E. Taff Rum. Another story, I think, about Palestinian American women, and I already know that I'm obsessed with E. Taff Rum's writing and her storytelling, so I guarantee this is going to come through. As always, I would love to know your answers to these questions, and of course, I would love to know your thoughts on the books that I picked for these questions. Have you read any of them, or are any of them on your TBR too? If you guys also enjoyed TikTok, definitely follow me there too. You can find my links down below. But until next time, guys, bye!